Sword, are we going to meet that guy before everybody else does?
While they did that, I just want to say that while everyone was doing their thing, I was with Jell at the shrine praying and tending to that.
Yes. Let us clarify some things. I think that Jovan left his home with Zord just after the spring solstice. And so the travels have taken him and Zort some time, and then your travels have taken time. I think that we are approaching, you have gone through the summer. We are approaching, we are just halfway between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. So
you're telling me I missed the summer solstice?
No.
Somewhere out there.
I wanted everybody to check their holy days to make sure that we are doing the right thing.
All right.
So some of you have, I think all of your cults have holy days listed by the seasons.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So when is yours, Skava?
Do I?
Spring equinox and summer solstice.
Okay.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
When,
I think we are right. I think we are coming up to the summer solstice right now. I think we can say we are coming to the solstice about right now.
Guys, I'm busy. I'm really busy.
Okay. Because that might be relevant to this situation.
I'm really, really busy.
Okay. How about you? Do you remember, Sandra?
No.
No? I will look in your cult.
Thank you. I read it, but I can't remember. I felt so bad reading it because I read it just after, I released the gods and everything went down.
Look what I did.
Oh,
I felt so bad.
Character development.
That's right.
Rebel.
That's exactly right. Yeah. It wasn't. Here we go. Yes. For the buried dead, it is the depth of the winter solstice, of course. So you're there in your darkness, nestled in the earth. So this is not really a special time for you. Okay.
Is there a special time for half snake?
I have to look again. All right. Well, actually, I think with the half snake folk, they always adopt the holy days of the location that they're in.
Okay.
So every areas and cities and prominent geographical features have gods associated with them which are local. And so the half snake would say, okay, what are the holy days for that? Okay, we are going to do that when we live here.
Okay, because my reason of thinking was that when snakes shed their skin, it's usually linked to rebirth.
Well, that's true. We can look at some of those ideas, I think, for later. I think that would be kind of cool when we are thinking about the Rune Lord levels.
Yeah, I think it's even mentioned in Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
The story.
Then you can turn pink.
All right. Now we have the issue for Skava. Then.
So how am I going to explain to the others that I'm not going to accompany them?
Well,
because I'm busy.
Well, I don't think anybody is going anywhere right now.
We said 2 days, right?
Right.
But so it's 1 day.
Yeah. But the point is that I don't think anybody is going anywhere. They're back at the village getting their preparations together.
Mm-hmm.
So you are fine to stay there. So when you say you are busy, you are going to be at the grove, the sacred grove of trees?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a great idea. And the people are very happy because they get to do this openly instead of in secret now. So this is kind of cool. There is definitely going to be visible growth of the trees
Nice.
There may even be, I don't want to get too Totoro about this, but it would be kind of cool if there was a great big tree that grows, but I'm not sure. But why not?
absolutely would like some blooms.
Okay, that definitely can happen.
Um,
And the point too is that this is not gardening. This is the wild. You're accepting the wild into the heart of this village. And so the whole idea is that agriculture is just an agreement. So this is where you affirm that it is just an agreement. Here it is more than, this is what you are making the agreement with, which is not tame. So so I actually think that's kind of cool. We could even have the understanding that you don't bother the worshippers of the woodswoman in the middle of this time, because you just might become part of the celebration in a way that you did not want. So
I have a quick question then, because if I remember right, my cult sometimes protects the cult that Skava is part
there is
of.
an agreement, certainly. You're talking about the open way.
Yeah, maybe I feel that maybe my character would stand as a guard.
That's a great idea, actually.
Not entering the holy place, but
right. This is also kind of a nice thing, because the two of you are not necessarily always in agreement about things, but in this, you both agree. Your cults complement one another. So that's
because it's it's an agreement that the cults have made centuries ago.
Yeah.
And I need to respect it.
That's excellent. I like that idea. And this is Bronze Age religion, so there's lots of banging things and lots of chanting and lots of, painting yourself and stuff like that. So that's just too much fun. I guess they do that in modern religions too. We just pretend that it's not as primal, even though it kind of is.
Well, there is still a lot of
I agree. It's all still
cults.
There. Yeah, it's also fun too. Yeah,
orders that's practice.
Well, I prefer walks in the woods.
Yeah,
it gives me calm.
Excellent. Yeah. I am happy with this. And Urko, I assume that you two are busy working away on your scholarship, but I will say that nothing really prepares any of you psychologically for when the giant actually looks over the range and steps down the mountain as about the same size as it, and then puts 1 foot on one side of the river, on the other side of the river, and then that knee comes down and down and down until it comes to land just outside of the walls, and it actually leans over the village, and its huge fist pounds down just next to the sacred grove.
That's an affront.
Yeah. It is truly, this is an amazing event.
So you still don't want to wait for Yella to become a priest?
Yeah, really.
I'm not going to wait for anything or anybody.
Right.
I'm protecting it.
That's starting to get personal.
And I will point out that it is not a huge, it is not a fast being. Okay? So it's not like it did not take as 5 seconds for this to happen. This may have occurred over the course of an hour. And when its fist hits the ground next to the grove, it does not just pull the fist back and hit again or do other moves. It stops in that position.
Is there anything on climbing? Because I was wondering if I'm might be good at climbing, because one idea would be to take his explosives and climb up the the giant towards the head area, or
well, there's definitely a possible route up that arm.
Sorry that I interrupted you. Continue.
Okay, there's definitely a possible route to climb up the arm for a crazy person, and so that's possible. And I would also like to discuss the behavior of the people in the village. The women of the grove and the people who have come to the grove as well, which includes men, and of course these children have been gathered there. They are terrified or upset or confused, and they are looking to Skava for leadership. That's one thing. And then for another, you have the most of the people of the village are following their habit, and they have gathered and are waiting quietly. They are not worshiping the giant. They do not treat it as a god in the sense of venerating it, of worshiping it. But they definitely have gathered and are even though it is behaving differently from usual, they are letting it set the pace of what it will do. And they definitely do not have weapons. But on the other hand, you will notice that Vang has been is walking with Hin, which is a little strange. And you will notice that one of the guys with the scarred face, is standing next to Hin, and every so often makes another motion in the air with his hand. So clearly they have placed him under some kind of magical constraint.
Okay, Sila, take those people away from here. As far away, as fast away as possible, because this is going to get really bad really fast.
Okay.
This is a challenge, and I'll take it.
And so, yes, we have seen this kind of thing before. And so then we will say that she does so with a particular attention toward the children. That would, and some of the people who are more on Hin's side have also got their eyes on those children and are not going to let them out of their sight, because they, of course,
great. So everybody's leaving.
Well, they're dispersing. Correct. Yes.
Good.
Am I close to Ikindu?
Yes, you are.
Because I was thinking about now that Skava told everyone to leave, and I was going to be sneaky, but that's too late now. If I could tell Ikindu without anyone especially hearing, well, not being too loud, if maybe, is it a he or she?
The giant?
No, the lizard.
Oh, yes, Ikindu, I believe, is male.
It's a male, yeah. Okay. If he could maybe turn invisible and sneak around and climb up the back of the giant and blow its head up?
I said, I'll answer, great minds think alike.
Okay. So, Urko, are you going to go with him?
Well, I don't know. Well, it's good if it's distracted in the... Well,
there's a lot of people doing lots of things, and your chances are quite high. In fact, you will probably have a bonus to your sneak.
Okay.
I'll try to convince you when we're talking.
No, but let's follow then. If it's already occupied with everything that's going on, then of course I'll follow.
Okay. Because we need to have an opening for us to enter it to place the explosive to be effective.
Right. So the idea is that Urko has is to treat its arm as a climbing surface, and to fortunately it is not completely vertical. So you actually could, in some places, if you are careful, actually get to your feet, and if you stayed leaned over, you could actually run up some of it. Other parts you would have to climb and pull one another.
Well, okay. Well, I'll turn invisible. I used both of I'll turn invisible. I used both of the detect blank and invisible.
Okay.
So
good.
I'll use 3, 4, 5 of my power.
Urko, if you don't have coordination, but Jala does. Jala will cast coordination on you, and then that will make it very easy for you to go up this surface for as long as the spell lasts, about 5 minutes.
Thank you, Jala.
Yeah.